Unexpected, and to some, inexplicable. It was the day that shocked the world.
The editor of The Sun wept at conference that morning.
But in one respect, Diana's last day was like any other. It was caught on camera.
Diana was the biggest news story on Earth. She was followed by press photographers.
They captured her life.
I can't tolerate it because it's become abusive.
And they'd be there at the death.
Diana, being photographed by photographers, didn't kill her, fact.
She'd given them a summer of sensational pictures.
There was different bikinis every day. It was paparazzi heaven.
So how did it end in tragedy on the streets of Paris? Tonight, exclusive pictures and the stories behind them from the men who took them on Diana's last day. More than any other modern celebrity, the life of Diana, Princess of Wales, can be told in pictures. She was the most photographed woman in history. And every picture seemed to tell a story. The story of Diana's last day was the final act in a drama that began 7 weeks earlier, on the French Riviera. When Diana, William and Harry arrived here as guests of Harrods' boss, Mohammed Al Fayed,
would have been the most popular for the press. The barrier would go up, and then you would see the green Audi just nudging out onto Kensington High Street.
No, I'm just going to have a look round now. Where are you?
You would ring your compadre at the rear of KP and say Elvis has left the building.
Mamma mia, get out of the way.
Where we are now, this is it. This is absolute Diana territory. This is Harvey Nichols. Now we're coming into the heart of Knightsbridge, Harrods. Beecham Place. This is the absolute epicenter of Diana's world. Well, this is San Lorenzo. When it was Princess Diana's favourite restaurant, this would have been the most famous restaurant in the world. And no matter what was parked here, it would be cleared. I think this is a PAP coming at us. It would just be, this would just be cleared. The car would park there, and out she would get.
It was open season, and anybody could join in. Members of the public were taking photographs as she passed and phoning up. Imagine what it'd be like today with the camera phones.
This is the Harbour Club, full of posh cars. And Diana's parking bay would have been this one here, or opposite. If it was one of the days that she wanted a photograph taken, she would be in no rush. If she didn't want a photograph taken, it would be fun and games.
I never encouraged the media. There was a relationship which worked before, but now I can't tolerate it because it's become abusive and it's harassment.
Just before Diana did the Panorama interview, that week was the absolute height of the paparazzi years.
During the years, you see yourself as a good product that sits on a shelf and sells well.
The ladders started here, and they went right the way up to the end, which is a distance of, what, 150 yards? Every single inch of this wall would be covered with ladders.
We were in the eye of the storm, and that storm was completely out of control. And we were simply on a story that was never going to end.
In July and August of 1997, the chase left the streets of Kensington and Knightsbridge and went global. To Italy for the funeral of determined paparazzi in the world.
I visited Paris with Princess Diana 2 or 3 times on official visits, and the Paris paparazzi were a well-known phenomenon. They were a kind of circus. They chased the royal motorcade on motorcycles. They would have pillion passengers carrying heavy television cameras. It all contributed to the sense of being inside a Wild West stagecoach while bandits were attacking it.
Oh, the French paparazzi, I mean, they are the paparazzi. And you won't beat them. You'll never beat them if they want a picture.
Agency worth its name would cover Princess Diana when she comes to Paris. And so when a British newspaper telephoned that Diana would be in Paris, arriving at Le Bourget on a private plane with Dodi Fayed, we go into action.
When Diana's plane touches down, a dozen photographers are waiting to record her arrival.
You see the characters who were to come together in the tragedy by Pillar 13 of the Alma Tunnel meeting for the first time. So we see Diana coming down the steps of the plane and Dodi greeting Henri Paul, who was driving backup car in the afternoon and fatally was to drive the Mercedes in the evening of the crash. We see Trevor Rhys-Jones, the bodyguard, Kes Wingfield, the bodyguard. There are no special photographs there, but they unfortunately have become historic photographs because this is Diana's arrival in Paris, and she won't leave the city alive.